Alright, so this is section 2, so these questions are a lot bigger. Okay, so normally we cover 2 pages, so this is the first page. So what we've got is a wee program that allows you, it's to do with an ATM machine and your PIN number. So asks the user to enter the PIN number, it then receives the PIN number and sets a wee counter to 0, and the PIN number is 0000. Okay, and well, you've not guessed the correct PIN number and you've not guessed 3 times, it adds 1 to the counter and basically just tells you that your PIN number is wrong and it asks you for it again. Okay, and if your PIN number is wrong and you've actually guessed 3 times, then it just says your PIN number is wrong and you've guessed too many times. Okay, but if your PIN number is correct, it will say correct PIN number and it sets counter to 4. Okay, now what you've got is a question just saying, asks you what receives an input. Okay, yeah, accept an input, you accept a present, you receive a present. Any one with receive is an input. Okay, so you've got line 2 and you've got line 8. Okay, so that's exactly what we've got here. It then says, well, what ones contain conditional statements? So a conditional statement is essentially an if statement. Okay, so if a certain condition is true, then do one thing. Okay, so lines 9 to 11 is one if statement, and lines 12 to 14 is another one. Now the actual condition is what you're testing. So when it says here, state a line in which includes a condition, well, what we've got here is there's a condition here in the while. Okay, so that's line 5. There's a condition within the if statement. Okay, so obviously that's a conditional statement, and there's another one in line 12. Okay, so you've actually got 3 options for that. Okay, and that's just the 1 mark. So choose just any one for the 1 mark. And then what they've got is when it was initially end if with 2 ends, what have you done? Well, it's a spell mistake, and we call that the syntax of the program. Okay, so that's for your other mark. Now if we look at the next question, state the type of loop when used in the program. Okay, well, this program keeps on looping until a certain condition's met, because we talked about it being a conditional a condition. Okay, so that's why it's called a conditional loop. Okay, give the reason for the part of your answers. Well, the program keeps on asking until your PIN number's correct, or until you've reached 3 guesses. Now that's pseudocode, what you're seeing. Okay, so what you're seeing is, they call it haggis, right? Or they did call it haggis, but this is pseudocode. So another way of actually doing it is just using a flowchart or a structured diagram. So that's a graphical way of representing it, so you can actually see how all the parts of the program link together and see how all the data flows through it. Okay, and that's why it's called a flowchart. And when the program is run, there's an error is reported. What type of translator is being used? Okay, now an interpreter is being used, because the good thing with an interpreter is every time you run the program, it takes a high level language, converts it into machine code, and then runs it. Okay, and it does that process line by line, so it is very slow, but it can pinpoint exactly where an error was. So it might have run line 1, 2, 3, okay, and then it goes to try and translate and run line 4, and then the program flags up there's an error, so the developer can go in and change that straight away. And an interpreter always has to be present in the computer memory in order to translate an interpreted program. Okay, so the program is translated into machine code each time it's run. Okay, so every time you run your program, it has to take the high level language and translate it into machine code. Okay, which is a lot slower than the compiled version. Then it talks about the program saved to USB. To enable this interface to happen, to enable this to happen successfully, an interface is used. Take 2 purposes of an interface. If you think about your USB drive, you might be having data sent to it, okay, and this data is going to be getting received at quite a fast rate. So buffering is a way of actually accepting this data, okay. Voltage conversion, data format conversion, or serial to parallel conversion. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily need to be talking about the interface when you're connecting the USB flash drive. This is just the generic things that an interface does. So you might have serial data and parallel data, and you might have a serial or a parallel port in the back of your computer. Your device might send serial data, so it has to be able to convert. It might be an analog signal going into a computer that has to be changed or converted from analog to digital. You might have a mobile phone connected to your computer. They run at different voltages, so there has to be a way of converting the voltages. And buffering, again, you might have a printer in which you're sending a lot of data to it to print out. It can only print out one page at a time, so your buffer will accept all the print jobs, and once the printer's free to print off another job, the buffer then sends that job to the printer. Okay, and that was question 10.